So, good morning, everyone, especially to the instructor of this subject, Sir Godfrey. Good morning. So, at this moment, we are the reporters, and our topic is all about infographic for social campaign. An infographic is a perfect way to visually represent data and information so that your audiences has greater chances of understanding and retaining it. Infographics can communicate information in a condensed and visual way when designed well. So, what is infographic design? An infographic is a collection of imagery, data visualization like pie charts and bar graphs, and minimal text that gives an easy to understand overview of a topic. Infographic use striking, engaging visuals to communicate information quickly and clearly. So, the infographic was played a vital role in any platform of social media. Nagbibigay ito ng tulong upang mas mapalago o makilala pa ang isang bagay like business or any kinds of matter. Infographic design is used also to influence others, especially in making or spreading information. We can use we can use infographic design by promoting our products, business, and any sorts of things that contains informative information. Infographic design has a huge influence to many people, but what's the most important is we should be creative and passes a different ideas when we're making a visual infographics to assure na makakuha natin ang attention ng mga audience. So, next slide please. So we have an objectives. At the end of this module, learners are expected to first, understand the importance of using graphics. Second is identify the different guidelines and best practice in creating an effective infographics. Third is create his own infographic design for social change. Creating a beautiful and effective infographic design isn't hard. It just takes a basic understanding of infographic design best practices. So, to create an infographic, we must know first what are the importance, and we should identify what are the different guidelines to create infographic effectively. And in creating an infographic, we might think that it is hard, but it's only need an understanding of infographic, and we needed more practice to come up with a better result of creating infographic design. Next slide, please. So, plan your infographic design. Find a story. In every set of data, there's a story. The angle you choose will help you determine which information to include. The importance of making an infographic design is you should think wisely, and dapat the story of the information na ilalagay mo is it should be informative. You need to choose the right angle because that will help us to determine which are the information will be included in making a infographics design. Dapat, the information na ilalagay mo sa infographic design is aligned to your story na ginawan mo ng infographic. At kailangan alam mo kung ano at bakit yon ang information na ilalagay mo sa isang visual infographic design para yung audience and the people who saw it makukuha yung attention nila. Next slide. So, as what we can see in this picture, the example of infographic design. So, this infographic design tells the story of completing a project from start to finish. Ang picture na ito ay nagpapakita ng hakbang kung paano natapos o nakumpleto ang isang proyekto. There are 9 steps na nakalagay sa isang visual infographic. Naglalarawan ito ng mga informative context where we can determine what are those steps at kung ano ang dapat sundin or sinusunod para matapos ang isang proyekto. Bawat hakbang may maliit na nagpapahayag, kaunti ngunit informative. So next slide. Create an infographic outline. Before diving And so you decide, create an infographic outline. In your outline, include your headers, data, and any design details you don't want to forget. So in creating infographic design, lumikha ng isang infographic outline, including the headers, data, and everything you don't want to forget. Para mas maganda at informative ang gagawin mong infographic design, you should first create an outline. Bakit kailangan or mas magandang gawin mo ng infographic outline? Infographic outline are basically recipes for awesome quality infographics. In an infographic outline, all the written content is like the list of ingredients in a recipe, while the notes you include guide the design process, just like the cooking instruction. Bago mag-umpisa gumawa ng infographic, dapat tapos ka nang naka-create kung ano ang dapat mong ilalagay sa visual information. Dapat you already create the headers, data, and everything. Write a compelling title. Come up with a title that is catchy and descriptive. Readers should get a sense of what the information will be to engage them and make them want to react further. So, in creating or making infographic design, it is important to have a compelling title because the title of anything helps the reader decide whether or not the subject warrants their precious time to read further. If the title is compelling enough, the readers might be willing to invest a few moments by reading the first or two sentences and that was commonly called the lead. Malaki talagang impact ang pagiging creative at pagkakaroon ng different ideas sa paggawa ng informative design dahil posible itong maka-influence sa mga readers at sa mga tao. And a good title should be interesting to the readers. To make the title interesting, attention-grabbing, and easy to read, use words that create a positive impression and stimulate the reader's interest. Next, reporters.
Okay, now let's have use a grid design or wireframe for your infographic design. Use a grid design or wireframe for your infographic design. First, we have grids and frames are the structural base on any design. It allows you to easily organize elements and information. It plays an essential role in keeping object and elements aligned. Use a grid design system to create margins. An infographic design can potentially have any size of margin you desire, but it is important to keep the margin consistent all the way along the edge of your canvas. We have here the 12 best infographic makers or editor for creating an infographic. First, we have Canvas. Canvas is a powerful online design tools and infographic makers that allows you to create a variety of designs even if you don't have any design knowledge. Canvas provides a huge range of templates for you to pick from based on your exact design needs. Next, we have Vingage. Vingage is similar to Canva. Vingage offer you a few different options to pick from in terms of what it is you want to create. You will have templates for things like reports, poster, promotion, and of course, infographic. In this section, you find additional option of topics and categories of infographic like statistical, informational, process, comparison, timeline, geographic, chart, and also tutorials. Next, we have Pick to Cart. Pick to Cart is another good option to create different types of infographics. You can pick from a few different formats, including a traditional infographic size, presentation size, posters, or reports. Next, we have Easily. Easily makes it really easy for you to create infographic. All you need to do is to pick one of the many templates that they offer. Next, we have Visme. Visme is a multi-faceted design tools that develop specifically with the marketer in mind. It allows you to create presentation, mock-ups, banner, and of course, infographic. Next, we have Infogram. Infogram is a design tool for those who love numbers and data. It's it's a strong data visualization tool help you create simple infographics from complex data set. Next, we have Adobe. Adobe. Adobe is a quick and Adobe is a quick and easy way to create an infographic. It has 10,000 templates to choose from. Next, we have Snappa. Snappa is a Snappa is a versatile little design tools that was a pleasant discovery. Next, we have Animaker. Animaker is a primarily an animated video development tool. Animaker also offers optional of building animated infographics. Next, we have Bfunky. Bfunky is a tool to help non-design is a tool to help non-designers create professional looking designs. Next, we have Betaball. Betaball is a powerful video creator that let you create HD quality videos. And the last one is the Minecraft. Minecraft was created with a research community in mind. Though it's open to all use, it provides over 3,000 awesome scientific illustration and customized infographic layouts. But but take note, this application software is not for free. Pwede ka maka-access ani but limited lang kay kini nga mga software is kinahanglan nimo siya bayaran para ma-access nimo ang uban pa.
Incorporate different infographic design elements. Typography. Typography is a very important element for infographic design and your one way to explain your ideas and information when images, graphs, or icons can. That's why it is important to choose the best font for your data. That being said, try to limit the amount of text you include your infographic. The best infographics have visual impact with the text acting as a secondary explanation for the visual content. Ang typography, dapat yun, basta magbuhat kag infographics design na akay font style o na akay font size, dapat yun, ang imong pilion nga font style kanang the best nga mabasahan ang imong infographic nga gibuhat para masabtan sa tanan. Mao ni siya ang example sa infographic design. In 2002, ang nisikat ana nga infographic design in 2010 Instagram. Then 2010 pod, ibuong pod ang Pinterest. Muna sila mga example sa infographic design. First and foremost, make sure your type legible. In most cases, avoid decorative or script type as it tends to be hard to read. If you have to use a small text or an elegant font, use it sparingly. It always helps to increase the line height of bodies of small text if it starts to become hard to read. To keep infographic designs cohesive, limit your use of fonts to a maximum of 3 types, but also don't stick with just one. A tasteful use of 2 brand fonts can create a nice dynamic and clear information. Siyempre, kung maggamit yung kag infographic design, na dyan kay the best nga font style nga pilion. Para ang font style nimo Times New Roman, then ang font size 12. Dapat yun, magbuhat kag infographic, clearly readable na kayo siya sa tanan para masabtan ang information about sa imong infographic design. Use photography in your infographic design. The use of photography can be tricky if there is not a photographer available to take the such shots of exactly what you need. Be sure that the photos you use have consistent style and lighting. Try to pick photos with the same lighting, effects, some drops, backdrops, same amount of dark areas, and etc. It's important to stick to a certain style as images that clearly don't fit the scene will distract from the information being communicated. If you're going to for a simple modern use of photography, use only images with flat color or white.
backdrops. If you're going for a neutral newspaper approach, use fully black and white images. Photos take up a majority of space in your infographic, which can distract from information. This issue can be solved by using a cropping such as a circle frames. Kung magamit ka og photography sa imong infographic design, dapat yun ang imong picture nga i-attach dito ang imong background flat color or white para kanang masabtan ang imong information about sa imong gibuhat nga infographics design. Dayon ang dayon diri din sa mag-attach ng photos para sa newspaper, di ba? Kasagaran sa newspaper kay black and white lang jud ang iyang background or kuan sa photos kay para kay siyempre ang newspaper black and white naman gid siya yung color nga kuan nga fit sa iya para sabdan pod o clear pod nato nga kita nga gabasa or gatan sa picture palandaan ka ba na tag unsay meaning ana niya nga gibuhat di mga infographics.
Okay, so once again, good morning everyone. So let's continue with our discussion, which is use contrast in your infographic design. So now we will be learning on using contrast in creating infographic design, and using contrast is very important. Why? Because contrast, it will create a visual impact to the reader or the audiences, and also contrast is defined as the difference between using the dark and the light colors. And also using a contrast in your infographic design will also shows a difference or unlikeness of your infographic design. And when talking about contrast, many people just think about color contrast blending, which is the adjustment of using the dark to light and from light colors to dark colors. But behind those statement, you can also apply contrast in different ways, not just in focusing on colors, but it also includes the contrast on your color, size, shapes, and the typography. And later on, we will talk about and discuss what is typography. So next slide, please. So contrast using color. So color selection can have a big impact on your infographic design. Pair complementary colors to make your headline pop. So the color selection will always have a big impact on your infographic design. Of course, ug ang imong background is dark color, dili sa na pwede nga magamit kag dark sa mga colors kay dili na siya maklaro. So og dark ang background sa imong infographic design, it should be that light colors ang mga sulat-sulat aron maklaro, dili sakit sa mata, zoom aron maklaro ang sulat. So using sa insakto na color will have a big impact para mas mahimong attractive imuhang infographic design. So color selection is very needed while making your infographic design. So contrast using typography sizes. A header is usually the largest text on an infographic, followed by the subheader and then the body copy. So when talking about typography in graphic design or infographic, this is where you select the letter forms, which is to be organized into words. So that the words will be legible as well as readable and appealing when being displayed or presented to the audience. And of course, ang title or header, usually written na siya in largest text. So as what have we experienced in making our written report or the cover page, usually the header or kanang title niya is kanang ginahimo siya nga mas bolder and then mas dako siya. Then followed by the subheader, which is gamay-gamay sa header, ug dayon the body, which is gamay pero dili pud as in gamay na ikaw magbasa, maglisod kag basa. So choose what appropriate font size to use aron mabasa ra pud sa all kinds of readers, sa mga bata, matigulang. So ingana siya mabasa ra siya. So let's use font size nga legible nga mabasa sa tanan. Next, contrasting visuals, which is mo siya ang last. Use a tinted image contrasted with a chart over top to add context. So what do you mean by tint or tinted? So tint or tinted is kanang slight lang or pale ang coloration, ang blending sa coloration. This is also where kanang ang pure colors being mixed to white color. So example is ang kanang blue color, as in blue kaayo siya, dark blue, and sa gula ni mo white, so mahimo mahitabo dili na siya dark ug tan-awon kay nasagula naman. So nilight na and nahimo ng sky blue instead dark ang color, is karon pale or hulaw na ang color. And most commonly used for constructing colors is kanang visual using kanang color wheel, which is ang color wheel is very kanang familiar to us because since elementary we keep on using that in blending colors and ginatudlo po na siya sa to. So para mas mablend ang color, so we can or you can use color wheel para mabana-bana nimo og sakto ba siya mapares ana na color. So actually we plan to make an activity which is you are going to make your own infographic design by group, but we're running out of time and we cannot make it in person. So you still have this advantage in making your own infographic design if you wanted to try, because you already have these ideas on what are those possible things to be considered while making your own infographic design. So I think it's very understandable naman what would be the possible things to be considered in making your own infographic design. So let's proceed with the next reporter. Thank you, everyone.
Let's proceed to create symmetrical and asymmetrical balance. A balanced infographic keeps the entire composition cohesive, especially in a long form infographic. It is also pleasing to the eyes because everything fits together seamlessly. So there are two types of balance: asymmetrical and asymmetrical balance. Next slide. Symmetrical balance is when each side of the composition has equal weight. This layout is effective in a comparison infographic. So, asymmetrical balance or asymmetry is a visual quality of repeating parts of an image across an axis, along a path, or around a center. So, a good example of symmetrical balance is the human face. So if you are going to draw a line down in the middle of your face, you would have two sides that have the exact same design. Next slide. So next is the asymmetrical balance. Asymmetrical balance is more natural and less uniform than asymmetrical composition. Creates a more complex relationship between objects. Can make an infographic more dynamic since the composition is not repeated excessively. So asymmetrical balance, on the other hand, it refers to anything that isn't symmetrical. So symmetrical balance is opposite siya to each other. Example of that is the clouds have random shapes, trees branches grows in different directions, and then the crabs have different size claws. Next, please. Next is the use color effectively. Decide on a color scheme before creating your infographic. Design your infographic with 2 or 3 main colors and to use minor color accents. So in in using the colors effectively, colors can bring your content to life and set the mood for any infographic you created. When choosing your color scheme, decide on the tone of your infographic. So the colors you use in your infographics allows you to highlight different data sets and their relationship with each other. Eye-popping infographics use brighter hues, but be careful not to use large amounts darks or neon colors, as they can be straining to eyes when viewed on the web. So your inig mag-ano ka og mga sa example sa imong infographic design, dili ka maggamit og mga harsh na mga colors para dili siya straining sa mata sa mga viewers, inig makita na siya sa web. Next is the color can also be used as sectional tools. Add block of color to section your infographic, giving the eyes some breathing room as viewers scroll down. So with the right colors you are using, you can help attract people to your infographics. You can also set the stage for how people will absorb your information. Color can be your most powerful design tool in this age of information overload because it simply helps you stand out. And that's all. Thank you.
So for the continuation, let's talk about make sure there's consistency in your infographic design. So before that, what is consistency in infographic design? So it is about making elements uniform, having them look and behave in the same way. So having a consistency in designing infographics is the key to keep your design to have a good flow. In order for your infographic design to flow from start to finish, the design elements need to be consistent. The design goes for the styles of images you use, the font style, and the color palette. Next slide. Next is leave plenty of negative space in your infographic design. So, anong kinahanglan nga magbutang ta og kanang negative space or what we call is kanang dako bitaw siya nga space sa ato infographic design. Ang kuha ni is kanang ang iyahang kanang sana siya iyahang purpose ani is ang negative space is a blank space surrounding object in a design. So ang kuha ni siya ang purpose sa negative space is para nga dali ra siya mabasa sa ato ang mga headers or sa ato mga leaders. Then, if your infographic design is too crowded, it can overwhelm readers and make it difficult to read the information. So, if daghan kay kag mga words, then wala kayo space nga gibutang, then maglisod og basa ang mga readers. So, in creating infographic space around the elements in your design allows readers the breathing room to process the information. So, muna siya ang kanang paan sa negative space. So, ang negative space in design. So, next page. Next slide, brother. Next slide, Miss Cecilia. So, muna siya ang mga paan sa negative space. Ang kanang first, it serves as a break for web page visitors and give them the time to think and absorb information. It brings attention to the message on the web page. Negative space can hone specific elements on page. So, muna siya ang mga advantages if na negative space ang imong gihimo nga infographic design. And next is without changing font style or size, negative space can make a message more readable and easy to grasp.
That would be the end of our discussion, creating infographics for social campaign. We hope that you have learned something with our discussion. God bless us all.